Hello everybody, it's time for another devlog, this time for a new game. This is going to be the first official devlog for Chasing Shadows, the sequel to my first visual novel, Chasing Tail. So with the sequel, I want to try and do these devlogs a little bit more regularly to keep people updated on how development is going and just what's happening behind the scenes a little bit. Don't know how often I'll put these out, but I'm hoping to do it a little more than I did for Chasing Tail. I think with that game I had 1 or 2 devlogs at the beginning, and then 3 years later I made another one when it was done. So this one, I'm hoping to do it, every now and then when there's more features or something that's being worked on, I want to make a devlog. So what I've got going right now is publicly out, available. Probably anybody most people who are watching this know that there's a small demo available for Chasing Shadows, and it's almost a teaser. It's very small, it's very minimal, but it's got a little bit of content that shows you the very, very intro of the game. And that was made a long time ago. Okay, not a long time ago, a few months ago. Like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago or so, when I was just creating the concept for the story, and I really didn't have too many character ideas yet, and I kind of knew where I wanted to take the whole game, but nothing was really fleshed out. So now I've got a bit of work done, and I'm pretty happy with how things are going right now. I'm working with an artist on For Affinity named Alvin F. You can check her out if you want. She's a wonderful artist from Poland, and she's doing the character artwork for me this time around, so thankfully I don't have to do all the artwork myself, and that will be a great time saver so I can focus on other development issues. So she's taking care of the artwork, and I am going to take care of the programming and the writing at the moment. The programming side, the great thing about doing a visual novel before is now most of the programming is already finished. I'm going to change things up here and there and do a little tweaking and add in some different features maybe that weren't in the first game, but for the most part the entire almost 90% of what I wrote for programming the first game can be used for the second game. This game, it's programmed in C# with Unity. I built it from scratch, so it's kind of my own visual novel type thing. So it's not using like any of the visual novel engines like Ren'Py or the other popular ones out there. It's just using straight Unity. And really, not having to program the whole thing will save me a lot of time. I can focus mainly on the writing then. So on the writing front, things are going pretty good. I've got a nice outline so far that's telling me it brings me a decent way through the story, and I'm still changing it and it's evolving as I get more ideas or more story focus and just whatever comes to mind, any good ideas. I'm still able to mesh them in with the outline and take the story in a new direction if I really want, but it's fleshed out enough to where I can begin writing and start actually producing content. And I think that's a good way to do this, because sometimes I've looked up videos and different sources of material for how people write, and some people plan out the entire thing before they start writing, and some people kind of just wing it. And this is halfway between both, and I feel like it works the best for me because sometimes when you're writing, something will just come to you naturally, and an idea will pop into your head or an interaction will pop into your head, and it's nothing that you can plan for, but it's just the natural thing that would happen in that scene, and you can use that later to kind of create more story content or more events that might affect something else. So I feel like this is a good place for me to start actually writing. When I wrote Chasing Tail, I had nearly half of the entire script written, and then I went through and did a big rework on the outline and added in a whole bunch more content. The main villain of the game wasn't originally even part of that story until it was halfway written, and then I went back and added him in to the very first scene and changed a whole bunch of stuff. So the story can evolve as I go, and it might change, but I'm excited to start actually producing content. So I'm going to have, pretty soon, I'm going to release another update. As soon as I get some character artwork and as soon as I get this working, I'll have the first scene complete along with maybe a little bit of the second scene. It'll introduce you to 3 of the characters in the story, and you'll get a little bit more information and some background, and I'm pretty excited about it, because this is the start of a whole nother visual novel project, and it's going to be just like the first one. So, well, I mean, not just like the first one as in the same story, but just like the first one as in, I'm going to be releasing it bit by bit. It's going to be fun to get all the art. It's going to be an evolving project, and seeing it through to completion is going to be really fun. And another thing I have planned, when it's all done and complete, I would love to turn this one into a book, just like the first visual novel. So then I guess this will be the start of the Chasing series. And who knows, after this one, maybe I'll make a third one, and we'll do it all over again. I'm not sure, but I'm excited. It's going to be fun. This time around, I might do things a little bit differently. I've got some really fantastic folks on Patreon who have been supporting my work, and it's thanks to them that I can even hire Ulvin to help me with the character artwork. So I might start doing an early release on Patreon, and then maybe a couple weeks later I'll push a public release. I don't want to keep things behind the paywall for this game, but I feel like giving an early release and an early look at things might be a nice way to say thank you to those very generous folks who are helping with the development. And it's improving the game so much better, because now I can get the work done faster, Ulvin can get the artwork done, and together we're going to have this great project that's going to unveil itself over I don't know how much time, but hopefully not 3 years like the last one. Either way, I'm really excited for this project, and I wanted to just push this very first devlog commemorating the official start. And it's not really the official start because there was the demo beforehand, but pretty soon I'm going to have the first scene out, and that's when this will feel like there's actual content. You'll meet some characters and actually start to see the beginning of the story. Maybe I can give a little bit of information about the sequel, what I have planned, since I don't think I said it anywhere else, and if I did, then it won't hurt to reiterate. But this sequel, you are gonna play as the same character you played as in Chasing Tail. It's going to play off of the good ending, so the bad ending is not going to be canon. But that's another thing. It could be a really fun idea to make a short story or a short little visual novel based off of the bad ending from the first game. So that's another fun idea that may happen, who knows when. But it's based off of the good ending. It takes place almost directly after, not too long after, but it takes place after the good ending. But it's going to take place in a completely different location, a different setting. If I didn't spoil it already, spoiler alert here, it's going to take place in the Shadowlands. This is an area that it's mentioned in Chasing Tail, it's mentioned in that visual novel, but it's kind of a lawless area of, thieves and scoundrels and, no government, true freedom, people doing whatever they want, and it's kind of pure chaos, like a Tortuga type thing. So this is where it's going to take place, far away from Scalen. You're going to meet an entirely new cast of characters. That's kind of what I wanted to do. Chasing Tail, it's very much so the typical furry characters. You got your wolves, your deer, your dragons and raptors, your sharks, birds. Typical furry characters. And Chasing Shadows, I want to do something almost the opposite, where I want to do the very, the more unique characters, the weirder characters, the odd ones, like, graboids and turians and I don't know, all that weird stuff. I want to kind of make a whole distinction there, and it'll really make this Shadowlands area feel different and full of, instead of Chasing Tail, Scalen is full of technology and drugs and, drugs as in medical technology, and Chasing Shadows I want it to be full of magic and voodoo and all these wild things. So it's gonna be an adventure that I'm excited about. And that's really, I guess that's all the info I want to say right now. Just a very basic overview of my plans. It's gonna mention your love interest from Chasing Tail if you had one. That'll be part of the game as well, and maybe you'll have some, morality choices in there dealing with your new relationships versus your old relationships. I don't know, could get something like that, but it'll be fun either way. So that's all I have right now. Just a very short devlog here, and I'll link the demo or wherever you can play it, it'll be linked in the description. If the first scene is out by the time this video is out, then that'll also be linked. I mean, it'll be the same link, but you'll be able to play that as well. And if it's not out, it should be shortly. So that's the start of my new visual novel, Chasing Shadows. This is the first devlog for it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting my content here and viewing me on YouTube. It's been a new experience uploading here on YouTube. Not really new because I've tried it before, but I'm trying to do it more consistently now, so it's newer. And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully someone's getting something out of this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye. If I said that was the end of the video, I lied. I'll be tacking on this little end card just to let you know that I'm consistently working on new projects. Mostly programming and games, but I'll be trying to be a little bit more open and transparent about what's going on by making more videos like this. And if you'd like to support my games or my work, please feel free to check out my Patreon or come chat with me on Telegram or Discord and give me your thoughts. I have a lot of neat projects and pieces of work that I really just have no clue how to showcase, so feel free to stop by and say hi. Thank you. Goodbye.